In this session, we'll do a quick run through the order-to-cash process. For example, Mr. Jack has ordered 2 books by phone. The items are in stock and will be delivered immediately. We'll perform this simple sales process step by step in the CIP system, entering only the minimally required information. This will help you easily recognize the key steps involved in handling a complete sales process in SAP SD. You'll learn how to create a sales order using transaction VL1, create an outbound delivery using transaction VL1, create an invoice using transaction VF1. Finally, you'll get familiar with the document flow. Let's begin with sales order entry. To do this, navigate to Sales and Distribution, Sales, Sales Order, and call up transaction VA01. On the initial screen, select Standard Order as the order type and enter the required organizational data. After confirming, you will arrive at the overview screen. Here you'll specify the customer you are selling to and the date of the order. Enter the respective details in the sold to party, material, and order quantity fields. Since there is already a master record for this customer, simply select the number from the field history to save time. The same applies to the material number. Just input the quantity and confirm the entry. The system will then pull data from the master records and execute some background functions automatically. This may take a few moments. Once completed, you can save the sales order. The document number will be displayed in the status bar. Next, navigate to Shipping and Transportation, Outbound Delivery, create single document, and select transaction VL1N. On the initial screen, create the delivery with reference to the sales order. Enter the shipping point, and the system will propose the newly created sales order number. After confirming, you'll be taken to the delivery overview screen. Here, enter the storage location and the picking quantity, then confirm. Click the Goods Issue button. If no further information is required, the goods issue will be posted. The system saves the delivery document and displays its number in the status bar. Now that the goods issue has been posted, you're ready to create the invoice. Go back to the SAP menu and navigate to Billing, Billing Document, and select Transaction V01 Create. The system will display the newly created delivery document number in the table. Click Execute, and the invoice will be created. No further data input is required, so simply click Save. The invoice has now been posted and the document number is displayed in the status bar. This completes a simple but complete order-to-cash process in SAP SD. As a result, several documents have been created and linked together by the system. You can view this in the document flow. Now let's take a look at the document flow. Enter transaction code VA03, display sales order, into the command field. After entering the document number, you don't even need to open the sales order. The initial screen already displays the button for the document flow. In this example, 6 documents have been created. 3 were actively created by you: the sales order, delivery, and invoice. The other 3 documents were created automatically by the system: the picking request, the goods issue, and the accounting document for the invoice. It's easy to see how these documents are linked together. You can navigate from one document to another simply by double-clicking on the document number. The document flow allows you to access information about the entire sales and distribution process at any time. Now that you've learned about the document flow, we've come to the end of this video tutorial. In summary, in a simple order-to-cash process, you create a sales order using transaction VO01, entering a customer number, at least one material number, and a quantity. You create an outbound delivery using transaction VL01, entering the storage location and the picking quantity, then posting the goods issue. Finally, you use transaction VF01 to create the invoice. The document flow shows all document numbers created during the sales process. In this part of the video, we'll take a closer look at the controlling and structure of sales orders in general. By the end of this session, you will have a clear understanding of the order type and item category controlling elements, as well as the layout of a sales order. Let's begin with the order type. Start by calling up transaction VA01 to create a sales order. On the initial screen, you'll need to choose an order type. The order type not only controls the document itself, but also the entire sales process in the system. SAP offers various order types such as standard order, rush order, cash sale, delivery free of charge, returns, and more. The 2 to 4 character key for order types may vary depending on the language you are logged into the system with. For example, the standard order is used when delivering products or providing services to a customer with defined prices, quantities, and delivery times. When you create a sales order, select the appropriate order type based on your business transaction. This choice will control how the system processes the entire sales cycle. For instance, when delivering free of charge, an invoice isn't created for that transaction. Also, you don't necessarily need to enter the organizational data on the initial screen. The system can copy this information from the customer and material master records. That covers the order type on the initial screen. Let's continue with the structure of a sales order. A sales order consists of a document header and any number of items, which can be further divided into schedule lines. The data is spread across several screens: overview, header data, and item data. The schedule lines are part of the item data. When you open a sales order, the overview screen appears first. Here you'll find a combination of header and item data arranged on various tabs. In the upper part, you'll see customer data and the net value of the entire sales order. If you don't have a customer number while creating the order, you can create one by clicking the button that calls up transaction VAL1 to create a customer. While this is sufficient for processing the sales order, for later billing, the accounting view must also be maintained. To view the document header details, click on the Header Data button. The header data screen will display with numerous tabs showing how extensive the data can be. Now go back to the overview. The lower part of the screen shows a table for entering items. To see more details for a specific item, click on the Item Data button. Once again, you'll find numerous tabs containing various details. If there are multiple items, you can navigate between the details of each item using the buttons provided. For each item, the Schedule Lines tab shows delivery details. Alternatively, you can access header and item details via the Go to menu. This allows you to directly jump to the desired tab, covering the structure of a sales order. Now let's take a look at the item category. Each item in a sales order is defined by an item category, which controls its properties and determines how it will be processed during delivery and billing. For example, SAP Standard includes normal items, which are delivered and invoiced, as well as free of charge items, which don't require billing. The item category, represented by a 3 or 4 character key, is automatically determined. The relevant fields, General Item Category Group and Item Category Group, are located in the Material Master in Sales View 2. For each order type and item category group, the system identifies the appropriate item category and determines if it can be manually changed. Functions and data in the sales order. The many fields and their values within a sales order serve 2 main purposes. They determine further processing, such as shipping and billing. They enable the system to automatically perform basic functions within the order. In this part of the video, we'll take a closer look at the sales order document. You'll learn about the most important functions during sales order processing, and we'll explore the impact of certain selected header and item data. Let's begin by reviewing the basic functions during sales processing. Let's start with the basic functions during sales processing. After you confirm your data input, the system automatically performs several functions at the header level. Credit limits are checked. The system assesses whether the customer has a sufficient credit rating to allow delivery on account, or if payment in advance is required. At the item level, the system processes delivery scheduling. It calculates which quantities can be delivered and on which date. Availability check. The system checks if there's enough material in stock to fulfill the order. Pricing determination. All necessary information is gathered to calculate the final price, including any applicable discounts or surcharges. Depending on how the system is configured, these functions might be fully automated or may require some manual input. The results, such as shipping dates, partial deliveries, prices, or discounts, are documented in the sales order. In certain cases, you may also modify these details later in the process. Keep in mind that the system needs time to execute these functions in the background, so don't be concerned if there's a slight delay when processing sales orders. Having covered the basic functions during sales order processing, let's now move on to some selected header data. You can change an existing sales order using transaction VAOS02. Here, you'll find yourself on the overview screen once again. In this section, you can enter values such as the customer's purchase order number and the post date. These fields are useful for communication with the customer and can also be printed on the invoice. In some cases, users may utilize these fields for internal purposes. The requested delivery date shows when the customer expects to receive the goods. This field is accompanied by a date type, e.g., D for day, which determines the format, whether the date is in days, weeks, or months. The delivery date can either be set by the customer or automatically proposed by the system. The system checks if this date can be met, and if not, it suggests the next possible delivery date. A checkmark here indicates whether the sales order should be fully fulfilled in one delivery, or if partial deliveries are allowed. You can also block the entire sales order for delivery by selecting a delivery block at the header level. This means no outbound delivery document can be created until the block is removed. This is helpful when the details of the order need to be reviewed before shipping. A billing block works similarly and can be applied to prevent further processing until prices or other key information have been checked. The order reason field is used to indicate the reason for creating the sales document. You can select a reason from a list, but it has no controlling function. It is mainly used for sales statistics and can serve as a selection criterion in reports. The pricing date determines date-related elements like conditions and foreign exchange rates. By default, the system proposes the current date, but you can manually change it. If you adjust the pricing date, the system recalculates pricing for the entire document. If the date is set in the past, the system will issue a warning before proceeding. These were some key header data fields that play a role in the sales order process. Now let's move on to item data. When you enter a material number and an order quantity, the system searches for relevant condition records to determine the valid price. By clicking on this symbol, you will be taken to the Conditions tab within the item details, where you can view all the pricing elements in a table. Let's go back to the overview and focus on the delivery date. If the requested delivery date can be confirmed, the system creates one scheduling line. You can access these scheduling lines by clicking on this button, which takes you to the Item Details tab. However, if the requested date cannot be met, the system will create two scheduling lines. The first line will show the requested delivery date with 0 quantity. The second line will display the next possible delivery date with the confirmed quantity. For example, if the ordered quantity of an item needs to be split into 3 partial deliveries, the system will generate 3 scheduling lines. The delivery scheduling process also calculates the material availability date, considering the time required for delivery-related procedures such as picking, packing, loading, and transportation. You can find this date in the shipping details of the scheduling line. Using the Change Transaction VAO2, you can delete or reject single items or even all items within a sales order. Once deleted or rejected, these items are reversed and cannot be further processed. With the Fast Changes function found in the Edit menu, you can modify specific values for multiple items at once. This is a convenient way to update several items simultaneously. Additionally, with the Change function in the Environment menu, you can display any document changes that have been made for one or all items. This feature allows you to track exactly which user made changes and when they occurred, providing a clear record of all modifications to the document. In this section, we'll look at some additional general functions available in SD documents, not just sales orders. By the end of this video, you will understand how the Incompletion Log works, how to maintain text, and what outputs are included in SAP SD. Let's start with the Incompletion Log. As you move through the sales cycle, data is copied between the sales order, delivery, and billing documents. To ensure that no critical information is missed during this process, the system runs an incompletion procedure. This procedure starts automatically when you try to save the document. It records all fields with missing data in an incompletion log. You can also manually start the incompletion procedure at any time by going to the Edit menu and selecting Incompletion Log. If the document is complete, the system will display a corresponding message in the status bar. However, if values are missing, the system will list them in the Incompletion Log. For example, if you delete some values and restart the procedure, all missing fields will be listed. You can double-click on each row to navigate directly to the empty fields and enter the missing data. The incompletion procedure is customized by each company, so the key fields may vary based on the company's settings. It's important to note that the incompletion check only verifies whether a field is filled in. It does not validate the accuracy of the data entered. If you try to save an incomplete document, the system will warn you that the document is incomplete. You may still be allowed to save the document, but it will be blocked from further processing until the missing information is provided. To rework incomplete orders, you can use a list transaction. You can access this by navigating to Sales Information System, then Orders, and selecting Transaction V02, Incomplete Orders. On the initial screen, you can choose to view all incomplete orders or filter by a specific reason for incompleteness. The report will provide a list that allows you to edit incomplete fields for each document. Let's continue with text. During the sales process in SAP SD, various instructions and information can be exchanged or stored for internal use. All of this information is maintained as text, either in master records or directly within sales documents. Texts are categorized as text types, which might include internal notes, packing instructions, or explanations. These text types are predefined in customizing and assigned to specific sales document types. In a sales document, you will find the text tab both at the header and item levels. On the left side, you'll see the different text types available. Text can be automatically copied from master data, or you can manually enter information in the free text fields on the right side. To do this, simply select the text type and input your text. Depending on how your system is customized, some text may require mandatory input, while others are optional. Some text will be included in the output of the document, while others are only meant for internal communication within your company. Now that you understand how texts work, let's move on to outputs. When you create a document in SAP SD, the system automatically checks whether an output is required. Outputs might include order acknowledgements, delivery notes, picking lists, shipping orders, invoices, and more. These outputs can appear in different formats and can be communicated via various media, such as printed documents, electronic data interchange, EDI, email, or fax. To view the outputs in a sales order, navigate to the Extras menu. Select Output Pedido 01. Header, Edit. Here you will see a table that lists all output types for the document, along with their technical details. The processing and generation of outputs in a sales transaction are controlled via appropriate customizing settings. In conclusion, the incompletion procedures ensure that all necessary data in a sales document has been entered before the process can continue. All missing data fields are automatically stored in an incompletion log, which can be edited either within the document or through Transaction V02. Texts in sales documents carry essential instructions and information throughout the sales process, maintained either automatically or manually at both the header and item levels. Lastly, the system automatically suggests relevant outputs for sales and distribution documents, which can be exchanged with both internal and external partners, including order acknowledgements, shipping orders, and invoices. Create outbound delivery. In the order fulfillment process, shipping activities begin when the schedule line of a sales order item becomes due for shipping. In most organizations, these shipping activities aren't handled by the sales staff directly, but are managed at a different location, such as a factory shipping point or a warehouse. The main document involved in this process is the outbound delivery, which is created based on the preceding sales order. In this video, you'll learn how to perform this task step by step. By the end of this tutorial, you will be familiar with single and collective processing of deliveries, picking steps within the outbound delivery, the implications of posting a goods issue in the system. Let's begin with creating an outbound delivery and explore the key aspects of this process. Single and collective processing of deliveries. To begin with deliveries, navigate via Sales and Distribution, Shipping and Transportation, Outbound Delivery, Create. In the Single Document folder, you'll find Transaction VL01N, Create Outbound Delivery with reference to sales order. You've already seen this transaction in the Order to Cash Quick Run video. For collective processing of deliveries, ideal for high sales volumes. Go to the next folder where you'll find Transaction VL10A for collective processing of documents due for delivery. Using Transaction VL10A enables you to create deliveries in bulk. On the initial sales order screen, enter one or more shipping points. Set a range for delivery creation dates. Adjust further limits using available tabs, and you'll then receive a list of documents due for delivery. From here, you have two options. Create single deliveries in dialog. Create all deliveries at once in the background. That wraps up the process for creating deliveries, whether individually or collectively. Picking within the delivery document. Picking is the process of gathering items to be shipped. This can occur in either a factory or a warehouse. If your organization uses SAP's Warehouse Management (DWM) module, picking is managed within WM through a transfer order document. However, if WM is not active, no transfer order is necessary, and picking happens directly within the delivery document. In the delivery document, navigate to the Picking tab. On the right, locate the overall status field. If this field is blank, then no warehouse management transfer order is needed. Enter the picked quantity directly in the delivery document. When the picked quantity matches the delivered quantity, the system automatically sets the overall picking status to C for fully picked. This action also creates a picking request document, which you can view in the document flow. With picking complete, we move next to goods issue, but we'll set the shipment document for transportation aside for now. Goods issue. Goods issue marks the final step in the shipping activities. Once goods leave the shipping point, you confirm this by posting a goods issue. In SAP, Post Goods Issue button. You'll find this button in Delivery Transaction VL1N. With a single click, you execute the Post Goods Issue and complete the shipping process. When posting a goods issue, several important updates occur in the background. Physical stock update. Inventory at the shipping plant warehouse is reduced by the quantity shipped. Accounting impact. An accounting document is posted, decreasing inventory value and increasing cost of goods sold. COGS. Sales order. Update. The sales order item status is marked as fully delivered. Billing preparation. The operation is added to the billing list, so an invoice can now be created. For batch processing, Transaction VL06 allows collective posting of goods issues for multiple deliveries. At this stage, no changes to the data are allowed. However, you can reverse a goods issue using Transaction VL009 if necessary. In summary, the outbound delivery document is the central tool for all shipping-related tasks. With it, you can manage picking and post goods issue. Alternatively, each can be managed in its own transaction. After goods issue, the delivery becomes due for billing, the topic of our next video. Customer invoice. At the final stage of the sales process, the customer is invoiced for the goods supplied or services rendered. If no issues arise with the delivery, this signifies the transaction is complete from a sales perspective. The creation of a customer invoice involves generating the invoice document, forwarding billing data to financial accounting, where payment processing takes place. In this video, you'll learn about creating invoices using various SAP transactions, including VF01 for creating a single invoice, VF04 for managing and creating multiple invoices in a billing due list, VF06 for batch processing of invoices. Additionally, you'll see how invoices can be modified or canceled. Let's start with how customer invoices are created from the SAP menu. Creating a customer invoice using VF01 navigation. Begin by navigating from Sales and Distribution to the Billing folder, and then select Billing Document. Transactions Overview. Here you'll see multiple options for creating invoices. VF01 used to create an invoice for a specific document. VF04 processes a billing due list for multiple invoices. VF06 runs background processing of invoices. Using VF01 for invoice creation, on the initial screen of VF01, either enter the document number or let the system propose one. Invoices can be created in two ways. Order-related billing, available as soon as the sales order is completed. Delivery-related billing requires the goods issue to be posted. Billing date check. The billing date in the sales document determines when an item is due for billing. The system will not allow billing until this date is reached. Billing type suggestion. Based on the document reference, the system proposes a billing type. For example, a standard order with delivery-related billing uses an F2 invoice type. Execute an overview. After executing, the overview screen displays the items to be billed with quantities and prices, pulled directly from the sales and delivery documents. All data is copied, so no additional input is required. Details and saving. Click on the header and item details tabs to view specific document data, such as sales order and delivery document numbers. Once verified, save the document. Document flow. The document flow displays two entries: the invoice document, the accounting document with the status not cleared. When payment is received from the customer, this status changes to cleared. That completes the process of creating an invoice using VF01. Using VF04 and VF06 for efficient invoice processing. Transaction VF04, processing the billing due list. In the SAP menu, navigate to VF04 for process billing due list. Selection criteria. The selection screen allows you to define parameters for the billing due list using filters like billing date. Organizational data. Customer-specific data, e.g., sold to party number. Scenario-based filtering. Limit documents to specific billing types, such as delivery-related billing. Billing options in VF04. After generating the list, you'll see all documents due for billing. You can unmark any documents you don't want to invoice. Billing methods. Individual billing documents. Branches into VF01 for each selected document. Collective billing documents, in our background, processes multiple documents in a batch, creating one invoice per payer where possible. Collective billing documents, online. The system automatically combines documents and proceeds with VF01 for each item. Collective processing and simulation in VF04. Save and process. Click Save to process all marked documents, allowing the system to combine them into collective invoices as feasible. View errors. After the run, a log displays any errors encountered during processing. Simulation trial run. Run the billing due list in simulation mode to preview billing documents and identify any errors. Transaction VF06, background processing. Automate invoices with batch jobs. VF06 enables automated invoice creation in batch mode. This method is ideal for high-volume billing environments, where invoices are generated periodically without manual intervention. Changing and canceling invoices in SAP. In SAP, you have the ability to make limited changes to an invoice, or, if needed, cancel and recreate it. Let's break down each process. Changing invoices. Transaction VF02. Use VF02 to make adjustments to an existing invoice before it is forwarded to financial accounting. Editable fields. Output and text fields for updating print and communication information. Pricing adjustments. You can rerun pricing calculations or adjust item prices manually. Once the invoice reaches financial accounting, only output and text changes can be made. Canceling invoices. Transaction VF11. If further changes are required after forwarding, the invoice must be canceled using VF11. Steps for VF11. Enter the invoice number to cancel and execute the transaction. This creates a cancellation document that mirrors the original invoice, making an offsetting entry in accounting. The original delivery document reopens, allowing you to create a new invoice if needed. In the document process flow, both the canceled invoice and the cancellation document are visible, helping track all transaction adjustments. Conclusion: finalizing billing in SAP sales and distribution. Billing is the last processing step in the order-to-cash cycle in SAP sales and distribution. Once goods issue is posted and the billing date in the sales order is reached, invoicing becomes available. Key highlights: delivery-related invoices. Invoices can be generated directly from the delivery document, either for a single delivery or combined for multiple deliveries with the same payer. Billing due list processing. Use the billing due list to streamline invoicing without manually entering each document. This feature allows for batch processing and collective invoicing. Automated batch jobs for invoicing. Periodic jobs can automate invoice creation using batch mode, reducing manual effort. Invoice cancellations. If an invoice needs to be removed after posting to accounting, a cancellation document can be created. This offsets the original entry and reopens the reference document for rebilling. With these tools, SAP enables efficient and flexible billing processes, ensuring smooth financial workflows across sales transactions.